Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I hope that you guys had a great New Year's Eve and celebrated with your families in a good holiday season, whether you celebrate Christmas or any other type of holiday. Today we are testing out 3 new products. I am testing out the new Maybelline Superstay Foundation, this one right here. I also bought the City Kids Pink Edge, this one right here. And I also picked up the new primer, which is right here, the Master Prime Hydrate and Smooth. So we will be testing those out here in today's video. I also wanted to mention that I got a new camera. Yay me! And I got more lighting, so hopefully this video is going to be a way more improved than my past videos. I've always filmed with a camera, but the camera that I was filming with wasn't the best quality, but it was doing its job. And then I only have the ring light, so sometimes the lighting was off, but now I have umbrella lights, I have a ring light. So hopefully we're making baby step improvements and you guys like the quality. Let me know in the comments what you think of the quality of today's video. Enough rambles, let's get into today's video, testing out all new Maybelline products. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let's get to the video. We're gonna start off with the primer right here. The primer did cost $9.99. I did purchase all of this at Ulta.com. I will have links in the description bar in case you guys are interested in buying any of this. The Master Prime says it's a primer base. It hydrates and it smooths. You get 30 milliliters. It says visibly smooths prime skin with hydration. It's lightweight formula, does not clog pores. And it says you can wear this alone or you can wear it under makeup for comfortable wear. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good shake. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply some. So that's what it looks like. It kind of looks just white. It feels a little bit like lotion just from first application. It does have kind of a weird scent, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not like annoying, I wouldn't say. First impressions, I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't feel that it's super hydrating at all. I'm not getting that whatsoever. I don't feel like it covered my pores or anything. It doesn't claim to do that, so I don't see that at all. I do feel like my skin does feel smooth, but it definitely does not feel hydrating at all. Moving on to the foundation, this is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation. Now, their foundation runs the same as their matte and poreless. I love their matte and poreless foundation. I swear by it. I have bought so many of those foundations throughout like the last like 2-3 years. So normally in the matte and poreless, I'm in the shade 220, which happens to be natural beige. So that's what I picked up in this foundation right here. This does cost $11.99 at Ulta, and you get 1.0 fluid ounces. And then this is the packaging. The packaging is really nice. I like that it has a pump. The matte in poreless does not come with a pump, which is unfortunate, but this one does come with a pump. So I really appreciate it. I really like foundations that have pumps just because it makes applying or, you know, taking out product a lot easier. The claims in the back of the bottle say full coverage foundation, up to 24-hour wear, seamless matte finish. So they are claiming that this is a matte finish. It's breathable, it's comfortable, fade and transfer resistant, oil-free, also doesn't clog pores, dermatologically tested. It has kind of like a jingle. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's kind of, I don't know what's in there. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do half of my face with the sponge, the other half with the Sigma F80 Kabuki brush. This is how I always do my foundations. My foundation reviews, I should say. So I'm going to go ahead and pump. So that's how much I pumped. And then I'm just going to go ahead and dab a little bit. This also has a scent, but I wouldn't say that it's super strong. I can already tell that it's oxidizing pretty quickly. Okay, so this is my skin with the foundation and without the foundation. I will say that it doesn't look extremely matte right off the bat. I do feel like it still looks a little glistened here, a bit shimmery, but not too much. It definitely doesn't look shimmery up here. My skin doesn't look cakey at the moment. It definitely looks very smooth. It kind of wants to settle here in my smile line, but that's honestly very, very normal for me with most foundations. That happens. I wouldn't say that it minimized my pores, but it doesn't claim to do that either. But it also doesn't accentuate them as much. I feel like maybe if I added a bit more, it'd be a bit more concealed. I do feel like it's a medium to almost full coverage. I definitely wouldn't say it's extremely full coverage. You can see two of my freckles here, my freckles on my nose. I have a pimple that's happening right here. You can kind of see it, not too much. So overall, it looks pretty good. Doesn't look too bad. I actually like it very much. It doesn't feel super tacky. It almost feels like it's already set. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this side of my face with the Kabuki brush. Okay, so this is my face with the foundation using the Kabuki brush. I will say that I honestly see no difference. I feel like this side looks a little more covered, perhaps. But then again, it is freshly fresh. Like this side is very, very settled now. This side I just did. Again, the pores still are there, but it doesn't claim to minimize any pores. It doesn't look cakey around my brows, and it doesn't look cakey on my face either. Yeah, I definitely don't think that it is a bad foundation so far. I feel like it does dry pretty quickly, so I feel like if you're going to apply this foundation, you have to move rather quickly. I feel like you would probably like it best with the sponge, just because it's gonna maybe give you more time to kind of just, move it around on your face and make sure you get your entire face. I also feel like you don't need as many pumps as I did. I'm going to go ahead and conceal my dark circles and put the same concealer on my lids just to kind of conceal, and then we will be back to play with the eyeshadow palette. Okay, we are back. So the only thing I did is I put concealer under my eyes, and I did set underneath. I didn't set my face. However, I am going to set my face because in reality, I would set my face with any type of foundation. So I just want to give this foundation a fair shot. It does feel like it's almost dry. Some parts still feel a bit tacky, but not too much. So I'm going to go ahead and set it with the Wet n Wild pressed powder. Moving on to the eyes and also the face, we are going to be working with this palette right here, and this is the City Kit Pink Edge. They actually came out with two. They came out with this one, and they came out with one that's called Urban Light. They're each $11.99. It comes with a blush, a highlighter, and then these are eyeshadows right here. And their concept is basically, you see these 4 shades right here, that's like a pack, like a group of shadows that they recommend you use for a look. And then these right here are also, you know, a group of colors that they recommend you use. So it comes with the transition, crease, an outer V, and then your lid color. So that's basically how they're working this, and you can see it here in the back. I ended up getting this palette right here just because I felt like, for me personally, it's a lot more wearable. The other one, I'll post a picture so you guys can see it. It just has more summer colors. It has more colors for sure. It has greens, yellows, it has oranges, salmon colors, it has purples, blues. So it definitely is a fun palette. Just for me personally, I knew I just wouldn't, you know, grab it all the time. Let's go ahead and play with this palette. So what I am going to do is I am going to follow directions, and I'm going to go ahead and just use these right here for my eyes. I feel like this is more nighttime, smoky, you know, deep, if you will. So normally I would use this shade right here to set my lids, but because they're saying that this is your transition shade, I can't imagine this being a transition shade for everybody. Personally, I feel like it's very much my skin tone. I mean, look at that. That's just... And they actually do say that you should apply this from here to the bottom. So they are saying that you should use this more as a setting than a transition. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, because if I try and use this for transition, it's just going to not work out for me, you know? Shade number 2, which is this one right here, should be placed all over your lid, and then you do your transition. I usually don't like doing it that way. I like doing the transition first and then applying the lid. So I'm just gonna skip to number 3, and this is number 3, which they're saying should be your transition, should be your, not transition, your crease color. So it definitely is pigmented. I am getting major payoff, and I just literally tapped my brush in there ever so gently. You do pick up a lot of kickback. Okay, so you do pick up a lot of kickback, just for your FYI. My battery is dying, so I'm just going to do one eye. Recharge. So hopefully we can at least finish this look. Okay, so far I do like this shade right here. We're making progress. I'm going to go ahead and use this shade down here, and I'm going to just apply that in the outer part right here. Honestly, these are really, really pigmented. These are really good shades. Guys, this palette is only $11.89, and this is just giving me so much. Wow, I am really impressed with this. Okay, now we're gonna move in with this shade right here, and this is just called shade number 2. And we're gonna apply this all over the lid right here. I didn't spritz it or anything. The shade doesn't look super shimmery, so if you're not into shimmery eyeshadows, you'll probably like this one, but honestly, it's just looking really matte in my opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and spritz it with some Fix Plus just to kind of see what happens. Let's see. Just because we're testing out a new camera and we're running into these difficulties, I'm going to go ahead and maybe look a little crazy and just finish this side of my face just because of what's going on. I'm so sorry. Please don't be upset with me. But let's go in with the blush and then the highlighter just to see what I think. So I'm going to go ahead and dip in to the blush. Now, I usually don't like when they come like this because it's just so hard to get in there. But, you know, the blush is nice. It's not, you definitely need to build it, but it's not bad. I really like it. I like that it's, you know, natural type. Just go easy and it looks more natural. Load it up and you look more blushed, if you will. Okay, I am back. Sorry, my camera overheated and it cut me off. We're just gonna go ahead and do the highlight. I already finished my eyes. I did blush on both cheeks. I put on a lip, so let's go ahead and jump into the highlight. You can definitely see it more on camera, but honestly, I feel like it's the lights. In person, it looks very dull. If you like highlights that are, you know, not so vibrant, you might like this, but honestly, it's not giving it to me. Not only that, but it looks very pink on me. Not a fan of the highlight whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and set my face because I would do it normally. I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild setting spray. Right now my skin does look really good. It doesn't look cakey at all. It doesn't look like it's separating or any of that. My face looks very matte for sure. It is 1 o'clock. I will be back later today to check in on how things are going, what I think of everything, and we will be back later with more words from Jazz. Hey guys, welcome back. It is several hours later. It is 7 p.m. now, and from a distance, my makeup looks flawless. It doesn't look like I need any touch-ups at all. And honestly, I don't look super dewy. I feel like if you see some sort of glare on my skin, it's honestly from the lights. But other than that, everything is still there. The blush is still there. The highlight, it's kind of there. It's more like the glitter's left over. The eyeshadow is still very there. Now this lid right here, I didn't spritz with the Fix Plus, so the shimmer shade is completely gone. This one right here is still kind of there, but not really. But the shadows are still very present. The foundation doesn't look bad, honestly, for the amount of hours that I have been wearing it. But if we come in closer and we really dissect how I look, right here, it looks a little cakey. It looks almost worn off. I wouldn't say cakey, but for sure worn off. And then around the nose, like right here, definitely around the mouth, like right here. I would say that this foundation is definitely a lot more matte than the matte and poreless. I feel like the matte and poreless is almost like a semi-matte, like it doesn't fully set like this one does, but this one is definitely matte. So I feel like this foundation will work really well for those of you that have normal, combination, or oily skin. I feel like you will really like the foundation a lot. I feel like it's really going to control your oils. Plus, it's only $11.99. The primer, honestly, in my opinion, I would skip on the primer. They claim it's hydrating and it smooths, and honestly, there's no hydration. I didn't feel it. I didn't see it whatsoever. The smooth part, I will agree, it does smooth your complexion. But other than that, I mean, $9.99, it's honestly not worth it in my opinion. So I would just skip on this primer. And then moving on to the City Kit Pink Edge. This right here. This for $11.99, I believe. This palette, honestly, I do like and I do recommend for you if this is your color scheme that you like. The blush is really beautiful. Honestly, it's still there. It's still very present. I thought it was going to be hard to apply because it's in a strip and I'm not a huge fan of strips. But honestly, if you work your brush, you can get pigment. The highlight was very disappointing for me. I felt like it was way too pink and very subtle. And I'm not into subtle highlights. I feel like if I'm going to highlight, I need a highlight. I need you to wear sunglasses. But this is still beautiful and you can definitely use it for an eyeshadow color for sure. And then these shades right here are really pretty. These I didn't use as you saw in my video, but I will definitely use again. The shimmer, this shimmer shade right here that I used was a little disappointing. It wasn't so popping, but with the Fix Plus, it really does pop on your eyes, and it does last a little longer than not using Fix Plus. So, you know, the quality of this palette is actually really good. I would repurchase this again, honestly, because the other shades were beautiful and they worked really well. And it's a really affordable palette, so I would definitely repurchase this. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys like it. Let me know down in the comments if you have tried any of these products. What do you think of them? Are you interested in trying them out? And I will see everyone in my next video very soon. Bye!